they shouldn't be touching him in the first place. He's got nothing to do with them. Then, I mean, I just want it to be left as I leave it.
Mrs. Crowther's tidied up the damage to her daughter's grave, but says, short of keeping a 24-hour watch on it, there's little she can do to stop it happening again.
The battle to take control of the Moorland Brewery took a new turn today as Greene King increased its offer. The Abingdon-based company has also received an offer by Wolverhampton and Dudley breweries, but today Greene King says it's prepared to better that offer and wants to buy Moorland for £182 million. The summer's hot weather has brought with it a soaring opportunist crime rate, according to police. One force alone has seen the number of burglaries rise by more than 20% as householders leave windows and doors open.
No physical scars to speak of, but it's the mental anguish to burglary victims that can scar for life. 70-year-old Jay, who doesn't want to be identified, has become Cheltenham's latest summer burglary victim. The thief got away with more than £100 in the early hours.
You wake up and there is a man stood at the side of your bed, lighting a match. And you don't know who he is, where he's come from, what he's going to do. It's mortifying. It really is terrifying. I don't want to go through it again, ever.
As the heat rises, so do the break-ins, as residents leave doors and windows on the latch, an open invitation.
No matter how long you're going out for, whether it's into the back garden or out shopping or whatever time you're going out, lock the doors, lock the windows, and make sure that you keep them locked.
In Cheltenham alone, the number of burglaries in the last few days has gone up 20%. The message from police is simply lock up, lock them out, and save yourself the heartache of theft.
River fish are being given electric shock treatment as part of a survey on the health of a stretch of the Thames. More than 4,000 fish have been caught, counted and aged before being released back into the water.
Staff from the Environment Agency trawl the River Thames in Oxfordshire. They use a specially built craft called an electro-fishing boom boat to survey the waters. And they make a night of it because the fish are then easier to catch. And there are fewer hazards in the form of other boats.
We are out here mainly to assess the fish population's health and to see how they're doing, to see whether everything is breeding as it should do, everything's healthy. And because fish are such a long-lived species, I mean, chub and barbel, they can live for over 20 years. If you've got fish that age in that river, with the younger fish coming through, then the river's healthy.
The boom boat works by sending out a low-level burst of electricity. The fish are stunned for a while, and then they're easy to catch. But it's not simply a question of discovering the numbers.
We do count them, which gives us one idea of the population, but by no means is that the major reason for being out here. We want to see the numbers and the diversity of species that we find, and hopefully all size ranges present.
This night's catch included a pike, which just minutes before we started filming had eaten another, more than half its own size. The work carried out here by the night owls from the Environment Agency only provides a small idea of what's going on. But when put together with previous surveys, it can give a comprehensive picture of an important stretch of the country's most famous river.
Workers who build the propellers for the Hercules got the chance to see their handiwork in action today. The plane made a flying visit to their factory and landed on their doorstep.
The new Hercules transport aircraft, known as the C-130J, came from Lynham to Doughty Aerospace Propellers at Staverton in Gloucester. It flew low over the airfield, so the workers could watch the props in action, and then taxied up to the factory where propellers are being built for the 90 planes already sold, with more orders promised for the future. The goodwill visit was a chance for the workers to have a close look at their handiwork on the aircraft.
It makes you realise exactly what you're doing and how important it is.
We're really pleased. It's nice to see it come in. It's made a lovely landing. We were all really excited to see it.
Lockheed's pilot could hardly contain his enthusiasm for the new plane.
It is so much fun to get behind the yoke of this new C-130J and experience this new airplane. The new technology that you're seeing around you today is something that the Hercules pilots are unaccustomed to.
And before the Hercules returned to Lynham, there was the chance of a photo for the family album.
Well, the major date in this year's film calendar is here. Scores of Star Wars fans turned up for an early morning showing of The Phantom Menace, the new epic. Cinemas are staggering screenings throughout the day to cater for the demand. And Mike Rowbottom has joined the queue. Actually, Mike, have the predicted masses turned up?
Well, not quite as many as you might have expected, Wes. I'm at Northampton at the moment, at the Virgin Cinema. Now, there have been several hundred people turning up over the morning, but at no time has the theatres been full. Nevertheless, there were plenty of people here at 9 o'clock to be the first to see the new Star Wars movie here. Long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a universe which gave rise to the Star Wars legend. But right here in the present, at 8:30 in the morning, at the Virgin Cinema in Northampton, there are still people who follow that legend. 150 of them came for the film's first showing at 9 o'clock this morning. Some, possibly even refugees from the universe long, long ago.
Got the tingles, as it were, it's going to be an event for me, certainly.
I'm going to see it tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday night as well.
It's just the excitement for the new film. It's like we've waited 16 years and it's just the wait's over now.
The cinema is showing the film on 4 of its 9 screens with staggered showings every hour. And for those who are planning to see it more than once, and there seem to be plenty of those, there are season tickets. So may the force be with them, because their bank balances certainly won't be. Well, 2 people who've just been stripping their bank balance, so they've just come out of the film, Lisa and Glenn Willis. You've come in character to a certain extent. Lisa, what are you?
I'm Yoda.
And what are you, Glenn?
I'm Darth Maul.
And he's one of the new characters, isn't he?
He's the villain of the first film, yes.
OK, then what did you think of it?
I thought it was breathtaking, absolutely stunning.
And how's it compare to the original?
It compares well to the original 3 films, yes, certainly up there with them.
And Lisa, now, why did you come in character? Why?
Well, it had to be done. I mean, we just had a Star Wars wedding a month ago, so we couldn't exactly come here as we are normally.
Well, there you are, Star Wars here at Virgin at Northampton. Plenty going on.
Mike, have you seen it yourself yet?
Not yet, Wesley. I'm hoping to get to see it this afternoon. I'll bring you news this evening.
OK, and you're going to wear an outfit?
No.
Thank you very much. What a spoiled sport. I know we all wanted to laugh here. That's it from me. See you again at 3:10. Bye-bye.
Central Weather, sponsored by Stay Bright Windows and Conservatories. The clear choice in any weather.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, things are warming up again, although you'd never have thought it first thing this morning. I had the heating on, but there again, I am just a big softie after all. We're in a westerly airflow at the moment, and that's been bringing rather a lot of cloud in from that direction overnight. One area of cloud can be seen clearing eastwards across Scotland and northern England there. It's pushing out into the North Sea, but another area of cloud is steaming in from the Atlantic. Cloud Mark 2 has been giving some light rain and drizzle over Ireland, and it may bring the odd shower to England and Wales today. On the whole, though, we're looking at a dry picture, especially around our parts. Here's the detail. The cloud from the west is associated with some fairly weak frontal systems. They shouldn't be causing too much havoc, though. They will be passing through the region, but they shouldn't linger, and there won't be much on them at all anyway. There's also a ridge of high pressure to the southwest of the UK, and by tomorrow, that'll start to build in, keeping the weather fine and dry across the region, just in time for the weekend. For the rest of today, though, first, quite a bit of cloud around with more intermittent spells of sunshine. Cloudier in the north too, with maybe the odd light shower there, but basically most of us will miss any of that, and it should be mostly dry. Fairly breezy too, with a light to moderate westerly blowing and highs around 18 to 20 Celsius, 20 is 68 in Fahrenheit. A fine evening beckons with some sunshine, and a dry night will follow. There'll be clear spells and broken cloud, and winds will fall light once more, lows just into double figures. Friday morning looks like being fine and dry too, with a mix of sunny spells and cloud. Winds will still be gentle, and it will feel quite warm in the sunshine. Not much change as we peruse the afternoon. Sunny spells, broken cloud, and a touch warmer than the last couple of days, into the low 20s Celsius, that's the low 70s Fahrenheit. And then for Saturday, plenty of sunshine about. As you can see here, temperatures like tomorrow's into the low to mid-20s, so maybe slightly warmer. It should stay dry during the day, but with cloud increasing to maybe bring some light rain from the west during the evening, but I'll have more on that later. That's it for now. Bye-bye.
The Central 7-Day Weather Line, 09064 710 711.
Take a traffic update from our flying eye.
Well, thanks, Trish, and I'm sad to say if you're on the roads today, you're in for a lot of nasty. Someone's gone swervy, causing an horrendous tailback. Roadworks and the weather conditions just aren't helping either, I'm afraid. There's even been suicidal swans, pigs, and a carrot-crunching kamikaze squad. In short, traffic jams from hell.
Monday at 9 on ITV.
Ulster Assembly in crisis as unionists refuse to take part.
The drink driver condemned for suing over death crash.
Britain's freak weather, a new plan to find out why.
And will the weather hold as the Open gets underway?
From ITN, the ITV Lunchtime News with John Suchet and Julia Somerville.
Good afternoon, welcome to the programme.
Northern Ireland's politicians gathered today for what was supposed to be a historic session to select the ministers who would make up the province's new devolved government. Instead, it and the whole peace process was thrown into crisis when the Ulster Unionists boycotted the proceedings, still insisting they wouldn't share power with Sinn Féin.
That was followed in the last half hour by another setback when Seamus Mallon of the SDLP resigned from his post as Deputy First Minister. He called on the Ulster Unionist leader David Trimble to step down as the Assembly's First Minister. John Irvine has been following this morning's events.
Most politicians hoped that when they came to Stormont today, it would be to set up a democratic administration. But in the end, they were here to formally admit that for now, it simply can't be done. Mo Mowlam had forced the Assembly to meet this morning to nominate ministers for a new governing executive, but the biggest party, the Ulster Unionists, didn't even turn up.